Well, as migrants continue to arrive in New York from Texas, city officials are struggling to accommodate the surge of asylum seekers.
And while the city plans on opening a more specialized services-based help center within the next 2 weeks, right now it's got to find a way to best shelter the migrants in a system that's already overwhelmed. Joining us now with more on the situation, New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Nice to have you back on Good Day New York.
Great to be here, ladies. Good to speak with both of you.
All right, what are we going to do here? We already know the shelter system can't accommodate New Yorkers, let alone thousands of people who are coming to this town. Have you talked to President Biden and said basically we need to reevaluate this policy?
Well, we're going to do, like I've stated for the entire time in office, we have to pivot and shift in the face of the crises as they come towards us. We did it with COVID, monkeypox, and everything else that we have been facing. And when you look at the large number of migrants and asylum seekers, we have housed almost 5,000 thus far since around May. And we're going to continue to do so. And yes, we spoke with the White House to discuss this issue and state that we need help to get us through this moment.
Well, you and Governor Abbott, I'm wondering if you've worked things out. There was a little war of words, little Clint Eastwood kind of moment between the two of you. But why, seriously, why should he take the brunt of the migrants? Why shouldn't he spread it around the country? He can't afford it there.
Well, when you look at some of the documents he had the migrants sign, specifically directing them to New York City, this is just not who we are as Americans. All of us, we came from somewhere. We need to be clear on that. And to place someone on a bus for 45 hours without medical care, without food, water, proper sanitary conditions, and just send them to a city that they know nothing about. That is traumatic for anyone. And I believe the way he's behaving by not coordinating the transportation and sending people under false promises is just un-American. And it's unfortunate that he chose to carry out this humanitarian crisis in this way.
Mr. Adams, I'm taking a look actually at the official consent to transport. This is a document that the migrants received. It is in Spanish and in English. The available destinations say Washington, D.C. and New York City, which says has been designated as a sanctuary city by its city council and is providing shelter and food to migrants who have entered the country. If they're not getting the help that they need in Texas, do you think that that's un-American? Do you think that that's unkind to send them to a city like New York that's able to provide housing and accommodation for them?
Yes, I do. I believe the issues facing those who are coming through this country to flee whatever persecution or conditions they're dealing with, there's a way we should coordinate that on the federal, state, and city levels. That was not done at all. At first, when we brought this to the attention of the Texas officials, they were stating it wasn't happening. It wasn't until that document was revealed or until those who arrived here shared their personal stories that we learned, in fact, it was happening. And that not only overburdens the system here in New York, but it also is unfair to those who were shoved out of Texas and sent to Washington and New York City.
Well, I understand the issues that we're dealing with here, but Texas is receiving over 4,000 migrants a day. I know that you're saying 4,000 since May that we have had to deal with here, but 4,000 migrants a day, that is being overburdened.
Yes, if you want to consider that, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure you agree with me that if they felt overburdened, there are pathways to deal with the assistance like we're doing here. And particularly if you are identifying a city that you're going to send migrants and asylum seekers to, I believe that's the way you communicate and you coordinate to find what's the best way to do so and how do we ensure those who are coming here get the help that they deserve. That was not done here, and I think that is unfortunate, and that is not who we are as a country.
Mayor, the New York Post has a report today where they talk to some of the people in shelters that are from our area, that are New Yorkers who can't afford, a roof over their head. And some of them feel that the migrants are being treated better than they are. They got gift cards, new backpacks, new clothes. What do you say to those people who've been in our system for all this time and they feel like, well, they're being pushed to the back?
It's not true. We treat everyone who seeks shelter assistance the same way. Is universal on how we treat people. That is what we've always done. And I take my hat off to the employees who are dealing with this humanitarian crisis. And so if people feel that way, that is not true. Everyone is treated with the level of dignity that they deserve.
It's just, you know, Mayor, I mean, we're native New Yorkers. We got so many problems here, 99 problems at least. I mean, you're talking about crime, you're talking about NYCHA, you got people, the homeless system, shelters are strained to capacity. I mean, how much more can New York City bear? Do you feel like Governor Hochul, yesterday she talked about, you know, we'll welcome more and more. I mean, can we keep welcoming more and more when we have so many problems we can't deal with right now?
Well, you know, I'm glad you raised that because we do have a lot going on, and that is why leadership is important. You know, I've gone through crises throughout my time as a public official, from 9/11 to fighting back crime during the mid-'80s. Fighting crises calls the right leadership. And this is why it's important that I put together a staff that could respond to the crises we're facing. New Yorkers have dealt with crises throughout the years. And yes, it's a lot for everyday New Yorkers. But again, I believe in the city and I believe in the people in the city, and we're going to live up to the law. The law requires that no matter who comes to this city, we have to give them shelter. That is the law, and we're going to follow the law.
All right, Mayor Adams, good luck. We always appreciate you talking to us here on Good Day New York.
Thank you. Good morning.